Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to W.O.R.K.S. I'm your forever young host, and this morning I'm here with a lady who knows a lot about something that most of us are really ill-equipped to deal with and have to deal with on a daily basis. And that thing is one of the most stressful or stress-related problems we have in the world, especially at the moment, but just generally. So I would really like to welcome, because I'm sure we're all going to learn a lot from her, our money management and trainer and money host, money trainer and money coach, Camelia Bogdan. Good morning, Camelia.
Good morning, Kim. Nice to be on your show.
You're very welcome. I'm looking forward to learning from you. Um, Money is one of the biggest topics in the world. I think we all deal with money all of the time, and yet we're not trained how to use it in school. So most of us, and if our parents were well equipped, then we're probably quite good. But if our parents weren't very well equipped with it or didn't really know how to handle money, then most of us just sort of cobble by as best we can. So most of us are really probably desperately in need of somebody like you. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, how you came to know about money, how you help people?
Yeah, thank you. So I realized that indeed this topic is not teach in school, is not teach in family, and our parents, because also they weren't taught about money. So it's like a long story from the beginning, and seems that this topic is taboo, and no one wants to recognize that it's very important in our life to be not necessarily in control, but very safe and very comfortable when it's coming about money. And we have to learn this, because money, we want to recognize or not, makes the world to go round, and we have to deal with them every day. We can't live a day without them, because we have to spend money on our food, on our travel, on our rent or mortgage, on clothes, and so on. So because money in fact is that commodity that make us to trade our skills and what we can bring on the society, and to be able to trade this to have other things in our lives. So we can see that this money like this part of trading, and and the ancient times were other things like sheep, chickens, vegetables, but today we can't trade this. We need some currency, the same thing that we have to deal in order to exchange this. And I started this journey very early, because I saw my mom keeping records of how the expenses were, how big they were in our house, to have to be aware where she is with the money and what can she afford further. And was very interesting to see that at her, and I learned and I applied in my life. But I realized that is not enough, because yes, you are aware where you are with your money, keeping the records of your expenses, of your incomes. You need more, because if something appears from nowhere, you don't know exactly how to deal with it. And I realized that in some cases you can't earn more, or if you earn more, your expenses are going up. And seems like you are on the same situation. Doesn't matter if you earn more now than you earned last year. And why? Because it's supposed to have more money now, earning more. But seems not, you are on the same position or maybe worse. And Yeah, there are other elements that you have to add on this equation in order to manage better your money.
Well, I think that's completely true. And I grew up in a household where there was very little money all of the time. And so I don't think that I was to even know what to do with money when it arrived. I was talking to my sister recently, and back in those days, mortgages were not very expensive, and there was a point where I had a job that was, I mean, it wasn't brilliantly paid. I was an A-level trainee, but actually, I probably earned the equivalent of what a graduate would earn these days. Um, and But it didn't even occur to me that I might have been able to pay for a mortgage. And looking back on it, I could have had a mortgage. But we didn't know about things like that, even as something as simple as a mortgage. And and we didn't, I certainly didn't save any money. I was earning plenty of money for my age and I was living with my parents. I probably could have put away, I mean, they say 10%. Do you agree 10%? Is that
Yeah, the
guideline?
general percentage that should be used as a saving.
So can you tell us, because obviously I've been reading Cash Flow Quadrant and by Robert Kiyosaki, and he says that obviously you have to have savings because they're your buffer in case anything goes wrong. But actually, your savings are constantly going down, aren't they? Really, because of inflation. So can you tell us what you would recommend in terms of
Yeah,
saving?
I am only on the, I am not a advisor on investing. I try to teach people about the basics to be able to have enough money to invest. But my strategy on this side and what I teach my clients is that to pay yourself means that every time when an income is coming in your pocket or in your bank account, first of all, put a sum somewhere as a saving and keep that there. And in the moment that you have an amount that you consider that you can invest, go with that vehicle that it's more suitable for you. Can be properties, can be forex, can be stocks, can be gold, silver. There it's about each person how feels each this part of investing fit in his soul, in his body, because at the end the investment is not like, okay, I can do everything on investment. I have to use that which fit with my skills, or not necessarily with my skills because the skills can be learned, but with my personality to be there. But also it's not only to have money for your savings, to save for your future. Also you have to have money for your education. You have to have money for your long-term, I call that, and not only me, also it's from T. Harv Eker, long-term savings. And that means that if you want, for example, to buy something very big, like a car, a house, or to have that trip for 1 year around world, is from that pot. And if you want to have to buy something that is smaller, like a TV, a washing machine, that is from another pot, calling that savings, but for a short period of time. And what is very important, and we always forgot, is to have money for our soul, for our joy. And I like to have that and to spend it each month. Don't let any penny on that pot. Why? Because in the moment that you serve also yourself and your mind and your soul, then it's much easier to engage them further on your long trip for your financial goal. Otherwise, if you have only savings, and try to um, use everything only for the house, for the kids, for bills, and for the future, and nothing for you, on one moment, your mind and your body will say, stop. And on that moment, you will spend everything that you have, and you put on very great risk your future. So you have also, it doesn't matter how big or how small, of course, can be bigger than your expenses or your income. That pot for the joy usually is um, 10% for you, but uh, you have to have that. If you can't afford 10% at this moment, put something, £1, £2, bought a chocolate, bought an ice cream, go to the movie, do something at the end of the month that you enjoy. Go for a coffee with your friends, if that is what you like to do. But do also something for your soul. So it's not only for saving, you have to have a balance in your life, and money to have to support you on all this.
But I'm really interested to hear that you use the separate pots of money. So you've got several lots of savings, and it's exciting to know that you can have a pot that you can use, because I think most of us um, feel that, when you share out whatever's left after you've paid the essential bills, if you save it all, it's going to be fairly joyless. But I've got a message from Marina for you. She said, I'm to ask you, who is Hagi Dudos?
If
Dudos?
yes,
Hagi Dudos?
yeah. So uh, can you repeat the question? Sorry, I is something.
Oh, so as Marina said, to ask you, who is Hagi Dudos?
Yeah, I'm doing exactly the same. So all this what I told you is something that I apply and something that I teach my clients. Uh, it's not only this sport, only this strategy. It's also about your mind. Align your mind with all this, because the our body, our soul, our mind is something that have to be aligned with our goals. And it's not only about money, about financial goals. It's also about relationship. It's also about career. It's about our friendship, and about our um, spirituality. On each area of our life, we have to align us with that goals. And it's very interesting here because can be conscious. We can say, yes, I am there, I am fully committed to do that. But our unconscious mind will say, no, you are not there, because you listen so hard in and so often in a house and in your with your friends, with your relatives. In school, you were taught that, for example, to be rich means that you will be greedy, and rich people are very bad and they do illegal things to be there. And only these things is much more promoted in media, for example. And if at the conscious mind you say, no, I want to be there because I know that I can help others, but on your unconscious mind said, I don't want to be greedy, I don't want to do illegal things. So on that moment, then you are not supported by yourself. So first of all, to achieve your goals, you have to be supported by yourself.
I see. Um, so basically what you're saying is that it, you don't have to be a greedy person to need money or to want money or to feel that it's important to have money. It's not. It's about our mindset and actually um, being there in the moment is important because if we're not and if our mind's off elsewhere, then we're not kind of able to do what we need to be doing.
Yeah, the mindset is very important, but also the tool and the strategies, because you can have a proper mind to know exactly that being rich means that you can help others, you can bring value, more value to the society, but to not have the right tools, how to manage your money, how to make a proper, not also budget, but also how to know where you are, where is your net value, because a lot of people doesn't know how to calculate that, how to see exactly where they are, not about only the income and how much savings do you have at the end, but to know exactly all your liability or your all your assets that you have in your life, because also that counts. And you have to have all this. Was the reason that I said at the beginning that you need more than only tool and strategies. You need to align your mind, indeed these strategies to manage your money. Also you have to be to have around you the right people, because when you look, for example, outside at the athletes, very famous and on top 100 or 1000 Forbes people, business owners, or Olympic students, you will see that they are surrounded by the people who have at least the same goals or bigger, because only on that moment you can achieve what you want. You don't have to be the smartest people in the room. I like to say that. Because on that moment you don't have any option to learn more and to develop you.
I've heard it said that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly. Of
So
course, we have to be surrounded by the people who maybe don't have the biggest goal that us, but they try to achieve a way of working to have around you all kind of people. But the most of them should be on the up where you want to go, to that direction.
I think that's really important because it's very easy to if you're there with people that you've grown up with and everybody gets to a level, if nobody's moving on anymore, you won't move on anymore, and that's fine if you're happy where you are. But if you want to move on, if you've got goals that you need to move to, you need to move with other people, fishes that are swimming forward, not the ones that are happy in the rock pool, because it's quite uncomfortable out there. And if nobody's swimming with you, then being the only swimmer going forwards, you've got nobody whose tail you can follow. And I sometimes I look at it and I think it's like when you see. I don't know if you ever watch cycling. I love to watch the triathlons, and when they're doing cycling, um, even though they're all in a race to win, they help each other. So the person who's cycling at the front has the hardest job, and everybody behind them's in their slipstream, and it's easier for them. And then somebody else will take over for a little while, and then the person that was at the front gets to go in the slipstream for a little while and pedal a little less hard. But if somebody breaks away from that and cycles off ahead and they're on their own, then they have to work a lot harder than the rest of the people that are together. And so it's really important if you're trying to strive forward, if you're trying to get somewhere, to have other people also trying to get somewhere. It doesn't matter
Yes.
if it's the same goal.
Yes, it is very important to have the right people, and also sometimes it's much easier when you have a coach, when you have a mentor, a trainer, Because look at all this exactly on your example. I'm sure that they have someone who helped them, because on that moment you save a lot of time instead to try to reinvent the wheel and to try to discover all the rules that are already there. It's much easier and much faster when you have someone who already gone through that journey, and to save your time and give you not necessarily tips, because there aren't tips, but there are exactly that strategies and tools that works. So yeah, indeed, the team around you is very, very important.
Yeah.
We can go exactly back on the school, and we see that there we were in the right class with the right colleagues around us. Because I don't know how it's here in UK, but at least in Romania, where I am from, there we were on the same year, we were 4 or 5 classes, and usually the A class was the best with the best kids, and we try a lot to be on the first one. The last one, the DE class, were with the kids not very willing to learn and with average um, knowledge and so on. Everyone wanted to be on the first one. So it's the same. When you want to achieve something, you are going to try to be on the best group of people with the best trainers around you. If it's not necessarily the coach or the trainer there, but at least you have the team around you who can support.
I agree, but also you don't have to be the smartest person there, like you said already, because if you've got a coach or a mentor who's been there before, you can ask them to help you, and most people, are really willing to help. So it's great if you've got a coach who or a mentor who's been there and done it before. But if you can't find somebody who's done what you need to do beforehand, then surround yourself with people that are at least trying to get there, because you can kind of peer support each other, even if nobody quite knows exactly where they're going, even if there's nobody that you know that's already achieved, I don't know, 1 million a month or something crazy like that. I don't. I would think, there's probably nobody in the peer group that's done that. But at least if you're all aiming that way, then you're all going to be able to say, well, don't do this or do that. And or but I think the important thing about mentoring and coaching is to get feedback and support, because it's very easy to get disheartened if you're on your own out there, I think.
Yes, and also keep you accountable for what you want to do, because we are very easy distracted. If it's a big goal, if it's a big dream that you want to achieve, if we don't remain accountable for that, then it's, as I said, very easy to spread around and to look at the not necessarily unimportant things, but not so important that we want to achieve on that moment. So a coach and a mentor can keep us accountable for that. The peer group can do the same. And it's much, much easier when you have that. And I like to say that a good coach, a good mentor is that person who can teach and help the mentees on that way to achieve more than the coach and the mentor, because that is a very good one. When you uh, are better than your coach, means that coach was indeed the best.
Yeah, yeah. I think people don't realise that coaching and mentoring are separate and quite different, really, because if you're a mentor, it means you've done it before and you know what you're doing. But a coach doesn't have to be an expert in what you're doing. They just have to ask you the right questions and help you to know what you need to do to achieve the goal. Because if you're aiming for a goal, you probably have a very good idea how to get there, because otherwise you wouldn't think it was possible. Or if you believe it's possible, then your mind will give you a way there, basically. And and the coach can help you to keep clear on that goal and to say, did you do all of the things you agreed to do this week? And if not, why not? And reasons why not. But quite often, what we think are very good reasons for not doing something are actually distractions, aren't they? I think we all get distracted occasionally, but if you've got a coach there, it's easier to kind of get back on track and stay on track.
Indeed, because a coach first of all will keep you accountable on what you are doing, and as you said, with the right question, and a good coach has the right questions, will help you to find the answer in you, because only you know exactly what is your goal, and only you know exactly which is the proper path to achieve that. But a coach will help you to find that very quickly and very easily. I believe, strongly believe, that in the moment that a problem is created, the answer is created again, because we are living in the dual world, and always we have side, we'll have top and the down. And when the problem is created, on the same time the answer or the solution is there, but we have to see it, see the solution with the same eyes where with the problem was created, and we saw that problem. So we have to change the perspective, and a coach can help on that.
Brilliant. So can you tell us a bit about your program? Because I know you created a program.
Thank you for that. I created a system, it's called Practical Money Magnet. And with this system and program, and also I have a coaching program after that, is to see all these 5 elements. Means you, it's about how to manage properly your money, how to have the right people around you, and how to be persistent on all this to keep you accountable. And it's very, very nice if you can tap on your purpose and to do all this from that position, to have more on your life. And I teach about this. I have a free event next week in London. You can find it on Eventbrite, Practical Money Magnet. And I have, as I said, a coaching program. The coaching program is at the beginning for 3 months. And if someone needs more guidance on that, can be extended for another 3 months. And my clients indeed had great results and changed their life. They changed their income, and not only the amount what they received, but also the amount that left at the end of the month. And also were now more knowledgeable how to deal with difficult situations that appear in life. Because we see that now, at least from economical and political point of view, we have changes very, very fast, in hours. And when you learn how to deal with your money, then all this will not affect you, and you will be able to have exactly that amount of money that you want, doesn't matter what happened outside. So
Brilliant. Well, thank you. And how do we get in touch with you?
So in touch with me, it's my email address, office@practicalmoneymagnet.com. So you can find me, and if you want to see me face to face and you are around London, please come to Holiday Inn Kensington next week on 16 at 6 p.m. and have a chat. And also you can register, as I said, through Eventbrite.
Brilliant. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Camelia. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know a little bit about you and a little bit about how you run your program. And I hope maybe that you'll come on again and talk to us in the future a little bit more in depth
Will be a
about your 5 areas, and it would be amazing to know more about it.
Yeah, it will be a
Thank you.
pleasure to share this with you. Thank you.
So I'm going to try and come along next week if I can make it. I'm not sure, I might be working, but if I'm not, I will try to head into London. And I would really strongly recommend other people come along because I think it's an amazing skill that most of us are not as good as we should be at dealing with. So hopefully I will see you at the Holiday Inn in London. Which part of London? Because there's more than one Holiday Inn. Kensington, isn't it?
Kensington. Holiday in Kensington.
Kensington, so Holiday Inn in Kensington, and
Yeah.
hopefully I'll see you there and I might see some of our listeners there. Thank you.
Much
So
and thank you for the opportunity. And I wish you a very nice day to you and your audition.
thank you. So thank you to you, Camelia, and thank you to those of you listening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. From Camelia and I, goodbye.